Let's go.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? And welcome to episode 381 of the Fans of Power podcast. I am Nathan Kennedy, joined here this week by Tyler T-Rex Baker, the Rotten Amato, Joe Amato.
Who is frozen?
Man. He's frozen again. The trash man, the trash man, Ren McKenzie, and the doctor is in. Dusan Mitrovic is also here. Welcome, everyone. Hey, yeah, if you're wondering why Joe is frozen, it's because sub-freezing temperatures in that room right now. You see he's all layered up, and I guess his tablet can't handle the temp.
And you know what's funny? That's why I don't have, and that's why I don't have my laptop up here, is because I was worried about my laptop, and now the tablet's doing this.
No,
I'm gonna try to back out and come back in.
Joe, you know that computers thrive better in cooler climates.
I have no clue. I just know that I'm having a hard time driving. I'm freezing. Let me back out and get back in.
Joe's just being lazy because he wanted me to read all the names that are in there.
No, I'll be right back in 30 seconds.
30 seconds. Yeah.
Sure.
Add about 10 minutes.
That's what the Jenny keeps hearing.
Yeah.
Oh man.
How many times Jenny must listen and she's like, "Yeah, where have I heard that before?" I mean, she doesn't sound like that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone doesn't matter. I don't want her to.
But...
Yeah. I don't want her to sound like some like cigarette smoking. You know. Yeah, Joe. Take your time, why don't you? You know. No.
I mean, living with Joe, who wouldn't start chain smoking?
Yeah.
That actually wouldn't work out too well because I know for a fact that Joe doesn't like being around cigarette smoke, as I don't either. And
I don't either. I can't stand it.
Me neither.
Joe is back in here, but I'm going to wait to add him when I see his camera pop in. So there we go. And,
Ren, were you ever a smoker back in your younger days, like during the fishnet Mohawk days? Nothing like that?
I'm going to tell you, I've never drank, I've never smoked, I've never tried a drug.
Man.
I'm right there with you. I've only sampled a couple of alcoholic drinks because everyone's like, "You got to try it." I'm like, this shit sucks. I don't like it.
Yeah.
I drank beer when I was 5.
I can believe that. Dusan and Joe, anything they tell us, I'm like, yeah, I believe that. I don't.
Well, I'll tell you, I take that back. When I was in kindergarten, we lived in Germany, and my dad, when I came home, I was a latchkey kid, you know, as most Gen Xers were. I would come home, lock the door. I would have a Twinkie, a sandwich, and a half a can of beer waiting on me.
Holy shit.
And I would go to sleep. It was German beer. And I believe I remember it being kind of sweet. And my dad would leave that for me in the refrigerator.
Damn.
So I guess I was an alkie when I was a kindergartner. But I got over that, I guess, the year after.
That makes me think of that meme of that little 5-year-old in the 80s with the cigarette and a beer in his hand. Things were better until you pussies took over.
Yeah. Listen, man.
A little 5-year-old
was not a thing. Child care was not a thing back then, man. You didn't wear seatbelts. There was no such thing as a child seat.
Ren had a full-time job at 5 years old.
You ran around the car whenever he was driving. Yeah, nobody gave a fuck, man. And we're still here.
Well, hey, that's true. I'm gonna add Joe back in here, but he is frozen again. He kind of looks like he's mid dance move.
You know what I think's going on is before I started doing this podcast, why did I say start doing it like I meant like in general? I meant before this episode started, sitting there trying to watch TV through the internet and everything kept like kicking me off. So I wonder if, this cold ass weather has fucked something up and I don't know. I hope I ain't frozen the whole time.
No, you're back for now.
Yeah.
That's how
Am
Joe
I moving?
looks. He's like,
Yeah, you're moving. I just said
I'm moving. Oh, okay, good. Oh, okay, good. Okay.
you
All right.
you were fucking looking at the screen and couldn't tell you were moving?
No, but the thing is, when I see myself moving, you guys said I wasn't moving, and I see myself moving. That's what I'm saying. I'd like to fucking choke you, Ren. God damn it. Is it PowerCon 2025 yet?
Well, hey, speaking of when Ren was talking about, what was it you said you had? A Twinkie? What was it?
A Twinkie, a sandwich, and a half a can of beer. German beer, yeah.
Speaking of that, Sean Darren's got his wine cooler, a Kit Kat, and a Three Musketeer, and all set for the show.
That sounds disgusting. God damn.
What? Some of the shit you ingest? Come on, buddy.
I know I'm not one to talk. It's just I've never drank or smoked or did any drugs, but I'll do all the rest of the shit that he was showing here. The Twinkie, Three Musketeers.
I guess I'm the bad boy on the show then. I'm the one that...
Well, Rebecca's gotten shit-faced on the podcast before, I think, hadn't she? So.
Close.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, Joe, who mentioned drugs? What are you hiding?
No, I just said I ain't never did none of that stuff. I haven't been an alcoholic like you since you were 5. You said you've been drinking? Jesus Christ.
Yeah, but
no.
you all of a sudden mentioned drugs, and it's like, I didn't do drugs.
Now, I imagine Joe probably didn't do drugs. He probably smuggled them in his ass a lot. I can see Joe doing that a lot.
I was thinking the same thing, man.
Yeah.
I bet you he was a mule.
Oh, I have no doubt he was. And everyone's like, just stay the fuck away from this guy who's walking down the street.
Nobody bothered him.
The cops, nobody bothers him.
The dogs looked at him like, no, I'm not going over there.
No. I'm not even giving that a shot. No, ain't
the mule. 40 keys of cocaine in his belly. I'm not going over there.
No, why didn't Clint Eastwood make his movie with Joe as a star in that one?
Jesus Christ.
Joe, you got a new nickname on the show now, the Mule.
Yeah.
The mule.
Yeah.
All right. Well, before we go any further, I will say hello to everyone that is joining us live tonight. But also, before I get into that, we'll do what we did last week. Hey, you're here right now. We got 21 people. Make sure you hit that like button. Help us with the algorithm. Get more eyes on the show. But here we go. Will Timpson, Febmon, JSP, Speaking Moistly, Sean Darren with his wine cooler, Adam Gabbard, Papa Hud 69, Rebel Wookie, happy birthday. Johnny
birthday.
Cock.
Happy birthday.
Dingalorian. Grim was in there saying something about Joe's house being haunted. More on that in a minute. Daniel Carhoonan, Philippe, John Ballard, Thompson and Hereford Farm. I'm scrolling. Chris Carter, Gavin S. Yeah, go ahead and send me that message. And Master's Keep. If I missed anyone, I apologize. But we were talking Joe's house being haunted. Last week, Joe was being weird, and he got up and he kept moving around. But I guess one of his figures fell off the shelf.
Yeah, Mermaid just fell randomly. Had to get up, get him, go over there. And as I was telling the story, when you guys said that and said, oh, it must be haunted, that's when I first froze. So it's a coincidence.
There we go.
One thing I wanted to say, I don't know if you guys seen it. This is probably old news, but for me, it was new. I just seen it a few days ago. I didn't know that
on the
Super
moon.
7. No, I didn't know that Super 7 was making Dungeons and Dragons figures too. They have Hank, Sheila coming out, Shadow Demons, and some of the Skeleton Warriors. And they showed Hank in the perfect pose. Sheila can grab her hood to go like this. The Shadow Demons look awesome. I was like, what the fuck? And they're not like little mini ones. They're actually 6.5-inch figures.
Did they get the colors right?
Did they get what?
The colors.
Oh, dear God. I don't know. Only you would know that, Deucin. They look good to me.
Show me the pictures.
I ain't got them on me, but I know Nathan within a click of a... Oh, there you go.
It's you're talking as if I was a police officer, right?
It does look better than the Hasbro stuff that came out.
Yeah, and wait till you see Hank. Hank's
decent.
like... Wait till you see Hank's pose. It looks badass. Multiple
Okay,
heads.
I saw this the other day. I didn't know what it was for, though.
Yeah, wait till you...
They don't have a... Oh, there's Hank.
Yeah, no, wait till you see the pose he does. And with, like I said, I was like, fucking finally. It looks intense. I was like, yeah, I'm down for this shit.
How did they get the colors right?
Wow, the impressive Dushin. And they got Shadow
Yeah,
Demons,
because
you see
usually they're like color blind.
Yeah. Yeah, I was like, oh man, I was like, I want these. I fucking want these. I didn't think we'd ever see Shadow Demons though. I was like, nah, they ain't gonna make those.
So you're saying they're better than this one?
You bet your ass.
Yeah.
How dare you?
They're way better
He
than
can't
those.
even use the damn
so
bow. He can't
He's
even
like,
close his arm or anything.
It's-
That shit
God
sucks.
damn.
will Super 7 version be able to do that?
Make the what? The wait, what?
Yeah, the to hold the ball.
Yeah,
the
I just
string.
showed
Yeah,
it.
he just showed it.
Yeah.
Nathan just
It was
showed
on-
it.
Oh.
He was holding it.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Skeletor's got no eyeballs, man. Come on.
look. right there.
Ah,
Yeah,
The
so
power-
I mean,
the power
obviously
booger.
you're gonna have to pay more money for
Yeah.
these, but
and you'll have to wait a lot of time for it to arrive.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I only paid $6 for those.
yeah.
Yeah, discount. Yeah.
Well, but get him in hand. They were Bobby looked quite good, but
Yeah.
Hank
Bobby
and-
looks great.
Hank and
Yeah.
Diana, I felt very disappointed when I got it, and I was like, you know what, I'm done with this line. I just wasn't happy with it when I got him in hand.
Bobby looked great.
Bobby and
No,
Unity
they
did
look
look very
fine.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did look
Yeah.
really good.
It's a shame Bobby couldn't do his double-handed, pose, but it's still he looks good. Uni looks good,
Yeah.
but yeah, they botched.
I
some
know
of the
I know we fuss a lot about Super 7 with their constant delays and shit like that, and my biggest gripe is all the mindless variants. But when you do get the Silverhawks, the Thundercats in hand, I mean, I haven't worked them on because he's getting a prime spot, but when you get Rotaro, for an example, in hand, it's always well worth the wait. So if Super 7 Brian Flynn ever listens to us, which we probably pissed him off a long time ago because of all the rant and raving we do on here, or I'm sure I probably did. But to their credit, they do put out very high quality figures. The Turtles line is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
so damn variant heavy. Jesus Christ.
Oh, here we go. Go ahead, Dushin. Go ahead,
Well,
Dushin. What do you got to say?
I'm sure-
like the turtle line. It's like when they made Bebop, they picked the worst version to remake with the pink face. It's like, who the fuck wanted that? Like, make the proper brown one.
You got they had two options for that. They had a brown one and a pink one.
Exactly. So make the brown one. Don't waste plastic on the pink one.
But they're always doing like they did Lion-O when he's frozen for like a few seconds in season 2 of Thundercats.
Always
like,
going to do a variant. They're
Yeah.
going to reuse the mold. They're going to do that.
It's a very lame ass excuse to repackage a Lion-O figure for
It
something
doesn't
that
really
happened
make-
temporarily.
And it doesn't really make much sense to make such variants when the price is like $50.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You're paying $60 for a color variation of the same fucking figure. Like, that's my only gripe. I'm over my issues with the delays. It's here to stay. It ain't going anywhere. As long as the figures show up and they're exactly what we hoped we would get, I'm cool with it. But this, like the recent wave of Thundercat Ultimates, I was like, fuck, man. Like, it's very highly underwhelming. Like, I was like, there's no another Berserker. There's not the Tusker Warrior. I mean, there's so much other stuff they
Yeah.
could have done. Like,
So with this latest wave that was announced, you get Young Lion-O, Dream Master Mumra, Snarfer, and Quick Pick, and that's the 4. So I mean, with it's like you just put out like we just got Snarf in hand, and now there's already a variant of that figure already.
Which I mean, it's he's a slightly different version of Snarf, but still, it's very. I don't get it. I don't know. I just Mon Ra. It's a translucent version of Mon Ra. That's all it is.
So you at this point now, there's the regular, the toy colored version, and then this one, right?
Any glow in dark warriors?
Yeah, I was gonna say I think there's a glow in the dark, which I feel like they do that of. They released one of Chitara glow in the dark. What the fuck?
Yeah.
They did the same with Jaga, right? They did 2.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which I feel like a translucent Jaga, like a ghost version. That's the only thing that makes a lot of sense. And they've done a translucent Tiger to for invisibility. But I'm like, I don't know, for that price point to pay close to $60 for the same figure I got right here to see through. I'm like, I couldn't imagine doing that. Even 10 years ago when, you're buying everything you can get your hands on in the classics line. But even Joe and I have talked about our struggles. Like, I don't know if I want to, force, that price point of buying that when I really don't need that. I have no attachment to that. And Scott now they made it up, so I got to give him $50 for something that he made up. Fuck him. You know.
Now, I think I asked this once before. Do you have a problem with the Silverhawks and the Thundercats from Super 7 not being the same height?
I thought they were kind of like, I'm looking at them right here.
I mean, they're pretty close, but
they're pretty close. Like, and I have no problem with them not being direct. If there's a slight height difference, I mean, there are aliens to each other. So I have no problem with. I mean, if they were like how the LGN line was compared to Mattel, if it was like that, that would be disheartening. But you know, they're pretty close to each other. Like Stillwell standing next to them, like, you know, Stillwell honestly probably should be a bit bigger. But
yeah, I feel like Steel Will should be almost as big as a Lionel, or you know.
I mean, like compared to like, you know, him and Buzzsaw.
like
I mean, Buzzsaw should be bigger, but he should be a bit beefier. You know, like just a bit wider. But it's okay. It's not enough for me to like think, oh no, they're not doing it, because I mean they look fantastic. They really do.
Yeah.
So I'm okay with that.
And Febmon's correcting me in the chat. Snarfer is Snarf's nephew, totally separate character.
He is.
Yeah, it's different too.
But sure, but I'm just saying, like, it's
shut your shaggy face.
Just reusing the same.
It's a neat. At this point, it's such an. He should have been a packing character. Like I just paid. Me and Nathan both paid
like
$60 essentially for Snarf.
Yeah.
You know, it's a great sculpt of Snarf. Don't get me wrong, but it's $60 for this little figure eight, and he didn't come with
he shouldn't be by himself.
No, they should have packed in like a translucent tiger or something like that to make it worthwhile. Not that I needed it, but hey,
even that. But they could pack in other Snarf characters that we've seen on the show.
Put both of them together.
Yeah, much like how they did the Uncle Montork and Driel when they released them in a 2-pack. Like that makes sense. I will pay $60 for something like that, of course, but I'm not sure how they justify that. And they're probably not interested in telling us why they do that.
Besides, I think instead of getting a Snarfer, I would much rather have been like, oh, hey, here's some Burbles instead.
Burbles or the Balkans or I mean, I just felt like there's so many other little packing characters they could have done, and no, it's just another. You know, I don't need a young lion. Whatever.
I mean, it is what, but hey, at least with this, are you gonna get what's his face? Quick pick?
Probably not.
I don't even remember that character.
Yeah, I have a vague recollection of the character. It just shows you it didn't leave much of an impression on me.
Got a picture.
Picture?
A picture of a Quick Flick?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The new figure.
Nathan's probably.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Let me load it up. There we go.
Ew.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
He's from like a latter batch of episodes, I think.
Yeah.
So we get him, but we don't get
maybe
Burbles?
in 1 or 2 episodes.
No Burbles.
We get this guy, but we don't get Burbles.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Nope. No more Lunatics. No more, Berserkers.
Did they release any Lunatics?
Chilla and Allura have been announced, and they're pre-orders right now. So thankfully, we have 2 coming along the way. But I just think of no Tuska Warrior, no Cruncher, no Rambam, no Top Spinner, no. I can't wait to.
They didn't even make Luna.
No. Luna has not been announced at all, and Amok. Or Red Eye, or
I'll ask you guys this: Do you think this line will eventually get canceled? Because I think they just lost the Disney and Simpsons license.
Oh God, I hope not.
I mean, do you know how they're selling? I have no clue how the Thundercats.
Honestly, the vast majority of the Thundercats you can still buy on Big Bad Toy Store, if that tells you anything.
Oh, that's not a good sign. Then.
Yeah, some have been sold out, but the vast majority. If Joe wanted to start today, he could get a pretty decent collection right now at Big Bad.
No shit.
Yeah.
Although when it comes to Simpsons and Disney, it's all Disney, so that might have to do with that.
Yeah, Simpsons is under Disney now.
Yeah. And I mean, I did find when they do the animated versions of Transformers and G.I. Joe, they're very flat looking. Like that attempt to do a representation of
the
Flint
cartoon, like
of the car. It's very muted. Like it just looks like it's
Yeah.
lacking so much trying to be the cartoon. You know.
Yeah, like I don't get when they make cartoon based like G.I. Joe, for example. Why is it so hard to add extra detailing? Like it wouldn't come at a sacrifice of design. It would literally enrich in the design. Like you
Yes.
don't have to. It's not a drawing. You don't have to keep it simple. You can add
I'll be
details. You
back,
can
guys.
add
I'll
details
be
to the hair. Okay, go take a poopy.
I could have just removed him from the thing, but
Yeah.
all right, fine.
But
Details.
anyway, yeah, details. It does lack details, but I wish that everything they were doing was as good as Thundercats and Silverhawks. I just wish, and there hasn't been any more Silverhawks announced. Which I remember hearing something a while back on I think it was Toy Galaxy's channel. There was this was a while back. This was before PowerCon. That apparently there was like an issue with the licensing. That the third wave of Silverhawks was like the last one that Silver 7 was apparently going to be able to do. Which I'm like, I hope to God that's false info out there because we have no Copper Kid and a shit ton of other like much needed characters. No Melodia, no Poker Face, no Yes Man.
Yeah.
List goes on and on.
Yeah.
No Flashback.
And that would be pretty terrible. Who owns Silverhawks currently?
Warner Brothers.
Okay.
Just like Thundercats.
Didn't Super 7 actually buy the property?
I thought maybe they did when they announced it way back when, but I don't know. Like I said, when I heard that, I was like, I didn't take it. I took it with a grain of salt. I'm like, there's been no announcement anywhere about that, so that's why I thought, maybe they just heard some bad shit on the internet or something like that. So,
all right, let's see what we have here. Silverhawks LLC is owned by the toy company Super 7, which is also announced an action figure line of Silverhawks. This was July 2021.
Okay, well, I don't know what the hell that I heard or what. So
wait, shouldn't those figures not be much more affordable?
Yeah.
They don't have to pay a license to Warner Brothers anymore. So
but maybe that's where the weirdness is then, because Warner Brothers still owns the distribution for. Let's see, what did it say? So Warner Brothers, the rights to Silverhawks are now held by Warner Brothers Television Distribution. So maybe there's something weird with like the actual like television side of it, and then they
which would make sense. But Super 7 has the rights to produce.
I don't know. This shit's weird.
Do they even know? Do they even know themselves? Maybe I should upload an episode of Silverhawks and see who takes it down.
Yeah. Coming next week, a watch party of Silverhawks, and we'll see how long, and we'll just show it on the screen and just see how long.
Yeah. And we're just sitting there just talking about it and talking about random shit. And, okay, well, there we go, people. It took them 30 minutes to realize what we were doing there.
Yeah.
I'll just have to get Ren to do more T-shirt designs of Silverhawks then, because I kind of feel like I'm
You'll have to buy them as soon as I send it to you, because
I know.
snatched that
Which
bitch
I would
quick.
let our listeners know. Ren is working on another He-Man T-shirt, so when it is available, don't wait around and fart around shit like that. Buy it as soon as you can if you really want it, because this one should be pretty fucking badass with what he's putting.
Yeah, because there's no rhyme or reason for which ones that they yank down. So.
Yeah.
But wait, this new shirt could be a character that just happens to look like He-Man.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's what is a caricature of the character, and you can get away with certain things.
Now I am curious though with because we discuss this from time to time. Like, you can put up little cutesy characters of Spider-Man and Venom, or these really poorly drawn illustrations of Batman and Superman, and put them on T-Paw. But DC's got no problem with that. Yeah. But Joe puts up an homage to the '60s Batman show with Skeletor and Hordak, and they pull it. Like someone, so I don't know if it's Warner Brothers or Mattel's like, no, you can't do that. And I'm thinking like, I don't see the problem in that. All the other shit you guys allow on TeePublic, and I know we talked because Rand telling me that they pulled the design we put together. I don't know how they can leave up all this other very odd shit of Skeletor, He-Man, whatever it is. They got no problem with that. But Ren puts all this time and care into making these characters look the way they should be, and get that shit out of here. Take it down right now.
Maybe that's a testament to the Ren's art. It's so good that they think that he's just copying.
I really would lean more towards that because they pulled the Silverhawks one that we did, and that was the first one we did, and it looked fucking phenomenal.
They pulled that one the day after, I think. It was no more than like 2 days for that. I think that was the one. It was like I messaged you like 2 days later, like I got a message. They pulled it.
Philippe in the chat is like, when's Ren gonna do the Wrecking Crew? Well,
I would love. I've written out, like I said, a whole list, and putting the Wrecking Crew together would be one I'd love to get Ren to, because I've often wanted to have Ren to do Marvel villains, Marvel heroes, a group of the X-Men, like my favorite ones and stuff like that too. So believe me, it's just in the moment, in the heat of the moment, like, okay, I wanted to do He-Man this time. Whereas I was thinking about Dino Riders, I was thinking about Cops again, because I know Nathan wants to see the Cops idea brought to life. Like, it's just whatever's in the moment. Like, this time we're doing He-Man right now. Next one, it could be, G.I. Joe villains. It's just kind of whatever I'm in the mood for in that moment. Pull the trigger on that. Ren, please take my money and go with it.
Ren's face is just saying like, "Hey man, just as long as you got the money, he don't give."
I want you to know.
No, I love doing it. Like I tell Tyler all the time, man. I love being able to do these pieces because there's so many properties that I love or whatever, but it's like if I had the time, I would do everything, right? But for someone to say, I want this, especially as detailed as Tyler is, whenever he wants something, he's like, I want this, and he'll send me references and he'll say, I want this pose in this position, I want this one, and I love that because it takes a lot of the design pressure off an artist. That's 90% of the time that it takes to do a piece.
Yeah,
is figuring out where everything goes.
The composition.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's the hardest part, and making it exciting and making it visually pleasing and
then the colors, you have to figure out how to color it the best way so it's not jarring or anything.
Right.
Or so you
even
don't
that,
piss Deucin off.
Yeah, I mean, well, and there's certain ones like I'll ask Ren if he'll color them this way but alter this. Like I want to get like honor like the classic, the traditional, the way it should look if someone were to merchandise these characters and really cared about it. This is the way they really should be about. Like I have, just certain little details. Like if whenever he gets around to doing Triclops for me and something, I would much prefer to use the Filmation look, which is a bit bulkier with the tan, but make with his sword and everything like that. Because I love how Ren drew a very vintage kind of cross-cell artwork style of Triclops when he did the design that I got on a tank top. But when he does like one of the original group of Evil Warriors, Beastman, Trapjaw, Triclops, Evelyn, Beastman, and Skeletor, or maybe Faker, I would want his Triclops to look more like the Filmation one. I just that's my favorite look of Triclops. I just wish he was used more and portrayed more like a menacing bounty hunter as opposed to just kind of a there he is in the background kind of thing. But that's just an example, and that's what takes me so long when I ask Ren if he's game to do one. I won't say anything for about a day because I'm thinking in my head, pull this character up, put him in, up here, and then this one too, and I'm like, I want to when I send it, I don't want it to be pestering him with changes and shit. Like I used to do that shit with Axel a lot, where I couldn't make up my mind. I'm like, oh my god, like I want to feel like I've gotten better and past that. That when I ask Ren if he'll do this for me, it's set, it's ready to go, take off and have fun with it.
Yeah.
So
well, perfect segue actually, because speaking of Ren's artwork, this is week 2. We showed this off last week. I'm going to show this off every week, but here is Ren's submission for week 2 of the Spawnuary cover challenge. We got Gunslinger Spawn here, which looks great.
Damn right he does.
Yeah. I wanted it like an old school, like a Western poster style, you know, with a demon,
Definitely looks like a spaghetti Western right now.
a gun off. Yeah, so we'll see. We'll see. Once I finish all the originals, because I'm drawing them. I'm not doing the digital, except for the colors on these, and so I'll be doing an auction on my Facebook page or something,
All right.
and sell those originals once they're done. Actually, I got them. I got the first 2 here.
Let's see him.
Yeah, you could do like how I've seen them do on here when they're giving away
God.
stuff. Yeah.
God, that
Oh,
looks
there we go.
fantastic, dude.
Yeah, so that's the
There's week 1.
last week. Last week's.
That looks so good.
And this week's. So I like the inking is what I enjoy doing, man. Like the actual.
That your ink. I still remain to this day. Ren's work with shadows is probably one of his biggest high points of his work. The way he does shadow work, Jesus Christ, it's unbelievable.
And that's not easy.
No.
Yeah.
I like how you added too on this one that we see here that weathered effect in the background to give it more of that Western-esque feel.
Almost like a wanted poster or something like that. Like that kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks.
See, I wanted to do like a burn edge effect, but the way these pages are set, you have the inside border, all that writing on the outside won't be on the actual page, but there's a text border in there that you have to be mindful of as well. So I threw that idea out. I didn't want to have all that because it would probably end up not being if it were to make it to the final and be one of the 4 pieces that ends up being on these covers, which I highly doubt because there's going to be thousands of entries each.
Yeah,
which means there's 1,000 of shitty ones out there. Is what it means.
Yeah. Well, there's a few hundred really really good ones too, though.
And
I have no doubt there are. I have no doubt, but I'm like, I'm sorry, but but you know what? It just means you're humble about it. You deserve to have at least one of these make it to full cover, dude. No shit.
It would be nice, man. It would be nice. It would be really really nice.
And
what the hell?
The rules for this are you don't know what's coming week to week, right?
No, you know exactly.
Okay.
They put it out the week before first week. So this coming section is Scorched, is a female character, and then the last one is any villain, any Spawn universe villain that you want.
And I know we talked about this last week. Have you any idea or getting it narrowed down to who you think you want to do for that villain cover?
No, I kind of love Violator because he was one of the first, obviously. But Cygor is a really, really good character, look-wise.
Yeah.
So I think it's between those two, but I'm kind of leaning towards Violator.
Well, is he going to be eating a heart probably, or
we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
I won't know until next week when I start it.
Oh boy, I can't wait.
Because
it changes. Believe me, it changes midway. Sometimes I'll erase the whole piece. Like the one this week, I erased my first sketch out. I erased the whole page and started over.
I mean, that's just part of the process, right?
Yeah.
It's just repeated doing that. I actually messaged Ren last night because talking about him doing all these for this contest, I'd been thinking about it all week, but I went ahead and bought the Compendium Volume 1 of Spawn, the colorized version. So it's the first 50 issues in trade paperback form because I want to read all those comics. Like I have issue 1, of course. I think I have the first maybe 8 or 9 issues, and there's a few sporadic ones because when that came out, Dad was all about, hey, it's a new IP, new character. We gotta buy issue 1, and it'll send you to college. And like 15 years, like, yeah, okay. Look how that turned out. But Yeah, so I'm looking forward to that, getting here and reading all those, because as I had mentioned to Ren, I think I talked to Tyler about this before. My only exposure really to Spawn is just the shitty movie, and then of course the HBO animated show, which is fantastic. If no one's checked that out, watch that. It's great. Joe, you okay?
Yeah, all good. Everything's all good.
Well, do you guys want to move on over and talk about the Horde?
Yeah.
Troopers?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me do this. A link is also down below for those of you that want to check this out, because this comes from Battle Ram blog, which I highly recommend this website.
Absolutely. I go to that blog and just look. I love to read his articles about his exposure, his first interaction with the character, and they just him and Yuka and everybody that works on this. Axel contributes to it. Like, they really put together a wonderful blog of all the vintage characters from the toy line, the steeds, the various vehicles and stuff. It's just a lot of fun to go to that website, just click through and read, look at everything.
Yeah. So this is what when we were talking about doing a character spotlight, and Tyler's the one that was like, "Well, what do you think about the Horde Troopers?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's absolutely do that." And of course, the first thing I did, what info is there on Battle Ram's blog, and all kinds of stuff. And if we didn't use any of this, I'm sure Deucen's probably had some of these images saved somewhere.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I wish the figure came with that stun ray that he's carrying.
Well, you mean the vintage figure?
Yeah, well, no, any of it with this one.
The classics got
I got them right here. I got 4 of them, and I had them all holding that stun rod.
Yeah, you have the Origins one right there, and that
yeah,
one
this
doesn't.
Is the Origins one. I bought this for my son, so I went and snatched his for the show.
And you know what? The gimmick on the Origins one is a little tighter and more efficient than the vintage one. Believe it or not, like I have them both right here, and you can even see the Origins one is a little bit taller. But like with the vintage, which I love just doing that shit anyways and watching them collapse and just trying to get them just right. But it's cool. But the Origins just seems super tight. I don't know. It has a real good clasp to it, but I love them both, and of course I love the classics one too. But I wished it could have had some kind of gimmick for the classics.
Well,
mine is a lot tougher than yours, Joe.
What, do you have to really bang it?
I have to.
Wow.
I have to really punch it.
Just stick your finger. Never. Well,
yeah. Go ahead. Keep using some more ammo.
Rand's got a finger bang the Horde Trooper to get.
You gotta aim right for the center part, real good. One strike, just and bam, it goes. Just do that, Rand.
Joe, as if
you just see. Look. God damn.
Well, I guess Joe knows. Joe knows where the hole's at, and Ren doesn't.
No, I think it's Ren's fingernail is probably fucking it all up. But either way,
I was hitting it with my knuckle first time. Like, I have to hit it with my knuckle.
Oh my God, I like to hit you with my knuckles. But I got a shit ton of.
Listen, Lucy Lou Joe. Mine is just tighter than yours. That's all that is.
Listen, I got a shit ton of vintage ones too. I was trying to army build those suckers. I got a whole bunch over there, and then
were you army building that as a kid, or did that?
No, that's what sucks. Is a kid you.
I don't know what happened to his audio.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
As a kid, you would what, Joe? You would what?
He's gonna start lying. That's what it was.
He's probably gonna.
He started stealing them from classmates and.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you, man.
Hear me?
There we go. Now
there you are.
Okay, well, anyways, I just had Battle Bones, one for the evil, one for the heroic, but I never did more Horde Troopers. I wish I did, though, because those fuckers are just skyrocket in price now.
Yeah, why is that exactly?
Because it's army building. People love the army building shit, and it's
that's
an obsession.
Across the board with any toy line, from G.I. Joe, Star Wars,
Stormtroopers.
If it's an army builder, even with current stuff like with the G.I. Joe classified line, like army builders, they go for big money if you don't get them up immediately.
Yeah. I like all the stuff with, like, at least when it comes to the Horde Troopers in the cartoon, because Tyler, I'm sure, has seen it within the communities too, and the He-Man pages. I remember people, like, some would literally lose their shit arguing over, are they human? Are they robot? Even though we know we've been depicted kind of as both, but some would just lose their minds. They're like, Jesus Christ, just calm the fuck down. They would, like, lose their shit over that.
It's a serious issue.
What
I
did you
just wish
say?
people would understand that this line, much like the tour line and Filmation, like the things were steadily evolving. Like
Sure,
I
sure.
mean, and of course you go to James's channel that Deucen helps out on, and they mentioned that the Horde Troopers were in the beginning supposed to be humanoid or human,
Yeah.
and inside their outfits, and
Yeah.
which would explain like a lot of their early appearances in Secret of the Sword, Duel of Devlin, like their responses like very human like, and
Yeah,
obviously they
sneezing
changed
to
it for
pepper, wanting food, all sorts of shit. Yeah.
having
Yeah.
names, you know.
Yep.
So
Yep.
it's I get why they changed it, but it's I part of me is it's fun to think that you could really make that part of the mythology of the Horde Troopers that Hordak would get people like these guys here, like it's
Arachnid
various
reptile heroes. Yeah.
yeah creatures from all over, and they start to evolve as these troopers that maybe signed up voluntarily or were brainwashed through Horde science, and then Hordak's
And why
like,
not
what we
still have best of both worlds? You could still have, robots and just people that are wearing the outfits as well. Just it doesn't, like I said,
But yeah, I
it
mean,
expands it.
it would make sense because like you have an intergalactic empire, so
yes.
you would need some way to boost your ranks.
Right. Let's mass
So
produce these such. And then, of course, they made them cannon fodder in later episodes, like seeing them smashed into flat cans, getting
Yeah.
turned into trees, and all sorts of crazy shit. Because they don't want to do that, obviously, killing humans. But
That's a cool.
Yeah, but they
looks
still
like
got in trouble over that. Like when there was a congressional hearing about the toy commercials and all that nonsense.
they're so
Like,
fucking dumb. I hate that shit.
Like literally in Congress, they were giving them grief that Horde troopers were too human to be like to be
Wow.
robots.
Oh, fucking, it's just so annoying. I hate hearing that shit, but let's keep advancing with this stuff. That is a cool ass design, though. That's a pretty nice design.
That could be used as like an own individual Horde character, like that guy.
Sure.
But
now, here we go.
Yeah, that's I really would have loved to have seen like if the line were to was in proper hands. We're not going to go into all that bullshit about where it is right now, but I would love to see like the mythology of the the evolution of the Horde troopers, or as we kind of already mentioned too, like the use of having multiple types of Horde troopers. You got humans or beings that have been brainwashed, or creatures from other galaxies that have been, and that's something I love how Deucen touched on that too, is that the Horde runs various parts all over various universes, inner dimensions, and things like that. To think what other Horde troopers must look like on other planets, other galaxies, or have they just evolved all into this kind of look? Like in that one shot when they're invading the royal palace, the Horde troopers are wearing these helmets with eye slits, which you clearly tell they're humans underneath there. And I just love that, at
the early design. Was that in Secret of the Sword? Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, it's in the flashback sequence.
Yeah,
and it's just kind of cool to think about. Like at one point, were those like brainwashed people who joined up, who are aliens from other worlds,
or just people that are join us or die, essentially.
Yeah, like
or people who are just shit.
yeah, or just terrible other terrible people on.
Maybe they signed up.
Yeah, they sign up and like, hey, you know what? I'm a nasty guy. Like, hey, these guys provide free room and board, weapons, shit like that. I'll sign up. Like, it's the same thing goes with GI Joe and Cobra. These guys sign up voluntarily to join up with Cobra.
Yeah, and you just don't need to always have a sad backstory. Oh, I was oppressed when I was a child, so therefore I'm evil now.
And the design is the Horde Trooper. And the Horde Trooper design, as we know, like right there. Of course, I'm gonna ask Tyler, Nathan. You guys would probably know. I don't know what they were called, but remember the X-Men video game, the arcade game. And remember those robots? Yeah, they almost had a similar design. If you'd seen it in the video game, they kind of had like a
the Sentinels.
Well, see, Joe knows them as the X. He's never watched or read the comics, but the Sentinels are about the size of a large building.
Wait, no, not those ones. No. Not the Sentinels. I'm sorry. In the X-Men game.
Okay. I know the ones you're talking about. They're the ones that came with the large cannons. Yes, they did look like Horde troopers. Yes.
Yeah, I wish I could bring up a goddamn image, but I swear to God.
And I don't know if they were, because there's so many. Now there are army type characters like that the X-Men game did use that were made up, and some were pulled from the comics as well.
Oh, so
But
those
those
might have been game exclusives just for the video game, you think?
Most of the villains were pulled from the comics, and some of the cannon fodder, like the Sentinels, were shrunk down to be more human sized, but in multiple colors and different gimmicks and stuff like that. But some of that stuff, was made up for the game, and I believe that was one of them, though. But it does look insanely like the Horde Trooper. Yes, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
There we go. There's one right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they did.
It's not impossible that they have lifted the design.
No, and because when I asked Larry Houston about working on, he said like he had no connection to that game, and that Konami just it wasn't like, hey, we saw Pride of the X-Men, and we're going to use the likenesses and looks from that. Which I'm like, how could they not? It's just I don't know. It's almost one of those. I have to go back and really rewatch that, but there was no like a direct like, hey, Konami wants to use Pride of the X-Men as inspiration, but it clearly looked like it.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody outside of like Nimrod and I was trying to think who else was in the game, but that was not the Pride of the X-Men pilot. But it just felt like that's what they pulled it from. I don't know where I'm going with this. I'll shut up. I don't know where I'm going with it. I feel like I'm just rambling incoherently right now.
Oh no, no, you're fine. I actually didn't even until Joe mentioned that. I wasn't even thinking like, those do look very similar.
Yeah, and I could see Konami, possibly looking at the Horde Troopers like we need something to fill out, the game to get more quarters out of people, and see right there, look at that storyboard right there, like that clear. That's the first one example that the Horde Troopers were not robots, and there's another one right there.
This scene even made it to layout stage. Like
Yes,
I think James owns the layout piece for that.
That's awesome. He has that. That is that he has that stuff. I like how we're going to start seeing some really bizarre shit though later of some of these designs, but yeah.
But there's one early design that pops up in storyboard for the 5th episode where that's really really weird. Like at one point, it seemed like the idea was to have the Horde characters to look like blatantly alien to the world of Etheria. So they had these bulky bodies and disproportionate large heads.
Which I'm glad they didn't go that route.
Yeah.
Oh, there was that. What? It's in one of the I think record books. And I think Joe and I covered this years ago, which was this very alternate version of the Horde Trooper. You know what I'm talking about, Joe?
I was going to show that, but I'll wait until we get. I don't know if you wouldn't wait, but I have it right here. I have a piece of the actual penciled pieces of that in the layout.
Go get it.
It's right here.
He's got it with him.
Is he frozen?
Yeah, he's just froze again. We'll wait for Joe to
of course.
unfreeze.
God damn it! Why would I freeze right now?
Well, when you unfreeze,
don't cuss God. That's what got you into trouble.
Son of a bitch.
But I'm surprised too. Like as much as Super 7 and Mattel, like when the Classics was going to, why we never got a Horde variant of him in his Horde Trooper armor like that. Like
you would think that would be the easiest one.
Yes, instead of getting a fucking red translucent version of Horde, the Spirit of Horde, what a fucking dumb idea that was. And I bought it like an idiot.
A fucking Jolly Rancher one as a
piece of shit.
Goddamn thing. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Am I moving?
Yeah, you're moving. Go ahead and show the.
All right. Well, these are the Horde Troopers. You can.
Yes.
See them
the Slime Pit record book. Yeah. In the back. There.
Yeah. Prisoner in the Slime Pit. But this is the whole layout piece. It's the original. It's the pencils. You can even see. It's the pencils, but also you could see there was a layout, and in one part right here where was that? They, for some reason, with slime, I don't know what they originally spelled or misspelled, but they had to put an L there and paste that over for that to be in the book. But this is one of the most bizarre things of the Horde Troopers are these weird things.
Which kind of makes you wonder, because I feel like how Filmation was pulling from concepts to kind of come up with characters. If that look of the Horde Trooper was a concept that they just happened to get a hold of, and that's what they went with, as opposed to what the final version.
It's not impossible, because even in the mini comics you can see the pre-final designs show up.
Okay.
And they did.
There's another one there.
They did a ton of designs for
So
these characters between Filmation and Mattel.
yeah, but there's definitely one that is so fucking bizarre.
Yeah, this
that
is
when we get to,
from the Golden Book right here.
yeah, they get stranger and stranger, and then I'll show you when we get to the one design, the actual book of where one of these comes from. It's unique.
Yeah, so
I
like
gotta-
that Grizzler over there, he looks very suspiciously a lot like one of the earlier designs.
Yeah, him and Montana both look like they're pulled from the was it Ted Mayer designs? I think. Because I remember there's a lot of those black and white like concept drawings, and it's almost like they just looked at the. Because I even think, and I think the Evil Horde Golden Book, like the hardcover one, when they introduced the lineup of the characters of like Montana,
With Leech and-
Grizzlord,
oh, yeah.
it really looks like they just looked at literally the concept as illustration and just put that in the book, and that was
They
it.
did. I believe they did. You're right. They did.
Yeah,
Oh man. Here's the Star Marvel.
yeah,
Mhm.
which they look pretty good there. And there's Hurricane Hordak and going all crazy there.
And then
Yeah.
coming up
Yeah,
will be
He's
the
got
one
the
that,
glow.
Yeah.
yeah, he's got the glow exactly.
Ah, here you go.
There's a prime
Oh, wow.
example of it right there. Yeah.
Yeah,
What do you guys
Prisoner
think of
in the
that?
Slime Pit.
That looks
It's-
like oh man. That looks like a Marvel character.
It looks like Kong. Is it Kong? The guy with the bell head. Can't remember his name.
Juggernaut.
No.
No. He literally has a bell for a head.
Is it a DC or Marvel character?
Oh, it's a Marvel villain. Yeah,
A Marvel villain with a bell for a head.
he's got a gold bell, like a Liberty Bell, for a head.
Oh,
Dr. Bong.
yeah, Dr. Bong.
Dr.
Oh.
Bong.
Who the hell is that?
I
don't.
I
I don't.
only
I'm an old school Marvel fan, man.
well,
I've been around for a while.
arch enemy of Howard the Duck.
I have
no
to say
wonder,
something.
Dan.
Ren,
I
did you
read so little
first-
Howard the Duck.
Ren, did you say Kong at first? The reason I want to ask, did you say that?
I did.
Okay, because here's what's bizarre. As you said that, fucking the weirdest thing, something popped up as a notification. One of my friends is live on Facebook, and he's doing an auction for it said King Kong. Popped up.
Supernatural, Joe. Paranormal.
Just that is fucking bizarre. I was like, you can't
You
even make that.
are haunted.
That is fucking freaky. So, all right, let's keep advancing because now I'm spooked.
I like this little color swap right here. I kind of like
Yeah.
that gray and blue.
That's
That's
an
different.
interesting color scheme. It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's not bad.
Which we
Yeah, that design's not too bad either. It's
No.
it's close, but it's
when we were
it's
scrolling
different
through,
enough.
you see some of the other designs that were used in Filmation. I do wish there would have been more of that, more color variations, or kind of like
Couple
how
of
we.
different.
Yeah,
Well, there was a
Slight variation.
knockoff thing where it was a Musashi line, and that's what
Yeah.
inspired, I think, one of the PowerCon exclusives of the red, the black, some variant
Yeah,
colors.
yeah.
Did you guys notice on one of the title cards that there are different types of Horde troopers pictured?
I'm
There's
sorry,
a
what?
title card. There's a title card for Shira that shows
I'm trying
like
to think.
Horde throne room or something, and you see these weird-looking Horde troopers with green visors.
I'm trying to think because I know there's certain shots of the interior of the fright zone that you see kind of panning shots, and you see a Horde trooper like on guard, like in a distant shot. But I'm like, that's the only thing that comes to mind. I can't think of any at least that I could recognize. So I'm not sure that I even picked up on that, Deucin.
do you have any of
Honestly.
those? Is there a way you could get those to me while we're doing the show, or is that too much of like a needle in a haystack situation?
I'll try to Google it.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God! Wait! Here we go.
Oh,
The vacuum
my
cleaner one.
God!
That comes from right here. There was these very small books, these mini books, these mini world books, and in this story, Double Trouble, she reprograms these things. She reprograms them, and so they go against Catcher. But there's like one particular scene where they all start just beating the shit out of each other. But the
Wow.
thing that is so weird about this that I don't understand why they fucking look like these vacuum cleaners. Is the rest of these books, everybody looks like they should. From Hordak to everybody. It's like, what the fuck were they doing with the Horde Trooper in this book? Look at that. I don't
understand. Unless just because it's one of these UK things where they thought, well, let's just go ahead and change it.
But everything else was accurate.
Their heads are those of Dustbusters.
That's what I
They
mean.
do look like Dustbusters or hair dryers.
Yeah, they do definitely have that. I don't get
it. There is no logic to make that kind of blunder like that. Like when everybody looks so fucking Filmation accurate, even in terms of the colors, their design.
Everybody is perfect, and the other one has Hordak, and there's Grizzlor, and the rest of the Horde are in some of those other ones. Everybody's perfect
Well,
except these weapons.
Is that supposed to be Adora over there or Shira?
She's Adora there, I think.
Then there you go. That's another fuck up because she has Shira's hair.
Yeah, he's right.
Okay. Because of the curls and the front?
Okay, God, yeah.
Yes.
Hell, I never noticed that. Holy
There
shit.
you go. There are those weird Horde troopers.
It's probably one of the biggest reasons because when I watch Secret of the Sword, I tend to watch it like in like one.
Those are hard to see.
Could you zoom that in? Because that is fucking weird.
That's really cool looking though. It almost looks like. I'll wait till Nathan brings it up again because I'm like, am I seeing something right here?
Yeah, because I couldn't tell if it was their eyes or their chest that looked
green.
Well,
I was thinking like the green part looks like their chest was illuminated.
Yeah, I think it's their eyes.
Okay. Because that's what I thought at first.
Swiss. Yeah, they're big. Like Deuce said, they're really big. The domes are really, really big. It looked like it from
Okay, that's their eyes.
I think that's their head. Yeah.
Yeah.
God, that's fucking weird. Yeah. Huh.
Maybe you could say that these are.
I got a Samus vibe.
Yeah, like the Imperial Guard, like
it does look
Royal
like
Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like playing Metroid now. I get a Samus vibe.
Like when shit hits the fan, these guys get unleashed.
Yeah.
Like these are
cool.
like the cream of the crop, like the guys that would escort Hordak around if if the other Hordes were not there. Like these guys are there to escort him to this meeting or to this part of the Fright Zone. Like, boy, now, that's fun to think about. Like expanding the mythology.
If only someone could execute that properly instead of making a piece of shit, that would be wonderful.
No one says piece of shit better than Deucin. Can anyone say piece of shit better than Deucin there?
He does it good. He does it real good.
He does.
Got some William George action.
I think you need to color this and put it on.
Oh, damn right.
You got some Aaron McCarthy. Send me that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
That'd be badass.
Pretty nice.
I think I have it in a very big resolution. So.
Oh, you do?
I've never seen that before. That's my first time because I Google searched so many random oddball Aaron McCarthy T-shirt illustrations, and I've never seen that.
Remember that time when they put a lot of Arrow's artwork on He-Man.org?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So this was among that stuff.
Okay, well, I guess
it's really nice.
I clearly stopped checking to see if they'd updated it, so I never saw it on there.
There was so much that you probably just easily missed it.
You know what? I'll take your word for it there, Deuce.
And remember, there was a lot that some people didn't think ever made to those shirts or pajamas and did. Like, remember the movie concept stuff? Remember Tyler and I got that one?
Oh my God, the movie stuff was so fucking cool.
Yeah.
And all the pre-Eternia stuff with Hero and Gigantosaur.
Yeah, all that shit.
Oh my God. And there's something that's not on here too. That was the very bottom one, Nathan?
Yeah.
That's something that I wanted to bring up to you guys too. That was coming in the vintage line, and we got it in classics. I don't know if they did it in Origins because you know how I feel. But the black armored snake troopers that the Horde has.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That was something I'm like, I love that was a direction they were going in with the vintage line. Like the Horde were capturing Snake Men. Yeah.
They did that in Origins.
Okay, yeah. I love that idea that, the Horde and the Snake Men have been, fighting for centuries, and that the Horde captures Snake Men and programs, and much like how Tongue Lasher and Batlore.
it doesn't even need to be those Snake Man. Like it could be Snake Man from some entirely other planet.
It could be. It could be. I guess I just naturally thought like because they were enemies, and it's even established in the Rise of the King of the Snake Man mini comic.
Yeah.
You know that these guys were enslaved or signed up or brainwashed or like Deucin says, Snake Men from a whole nother galaxy, and to have the black armor on them, like it's a cool look, and I would love to have an explanation as to like what is so specific about putting the Snake Men in black armor. Like obviously to differentiate on the toy shelves, but to give a reason, like what we just said, there's Horde troopers at Hordek's throne being like his Imperial Guard, his Crimson Guardsmen, if you will, for G.I. Joe fans out there. Like the cream of the crop, the best of the best. These guys, you don't fuck with these guys. And what would be the significance of putting the Snake Men in the black Horde Trooper armor?
Maybe
These
the
aren't
black
the origin
armor.
ones, are they?
No,
Is that the origin ones? No.
No, those are
The classics ones, yeah.
I'll show
Okay,
those off
okay.
too.
Maybe the black armor is like maybe the armor is different per command. Like under
Yes.
someone else's command, these guys look like this and like that. And also, you think that since Horde is presumably insanely huge, that whenever they update the designs of uniforms, etc., that there's some amount of lag before the
Yes.
information gets to certain parts.
Another part of the galaxy. Yes, that's a good point there, Deucin.
Hey, look, it's Kermit. It's Kermit in Horde armor.
It does look like
It's not
Kermit, yeah.
easy being
That's
green.
a terrible pose. They don't look
Yeah,
that
that's
bad.
Yeah.
that's a
I got
horrible.
That's
one.
not very flattering, no.
All right, well here I will. How about this one instead?
I think you did that on purpose.
Well, I mean, come on. Look
What?
at that.
You
Look at
you
that.
picked the same one?
Oh, there you go. Is that any better?
It's the Muppet
No.
Show.
Oh, I'll be right back, guys.
I like Deucin's Kermit impression.
Yeah.
Mm.
Well, look at that. Everyone's just getting up and leaving. Ren, do you need to get up and just walk out of the room? too?
Yeah, I'm just gonna. No.
The cryptid is back.
He's probably just going to show off the Origins figure. Is that what you're going to do, Joe?
The thing is stuck.
Well,
Okay.
that's what the
That's what
Jenny
they all
Like I
was
say,
hearing.
he doesn't look as bad as what that bow-legged one that you just seen. No,
I
But
mean,
you know
I
what, Joyce?
put up that picture.
Oh, okay, but yeah, like I said, I mean, he's more straight and everything, so yeah, there's nothing wrong. He's fine.
Too bad that you can't lower the head.
Yeah, that's what
that was
I'll tell you
one
what. Now that's what pisses me off. Okay, admittedly, that was the one thing about like let's say the vintage rat lore. You know, he always like looked up, hit the button, and then he looks like he strikes. But I was like, you couldn't have like made the head a little more posable and better because he's like stuck. I mean, he even has a worse stuck up look like this. But you can
Mhm.
slightly push it down. But otherwise, he's like looking way up. It's like that's shitty.
Yeah.
I don't like that pose. So,
Doesn't work at all.
but otherwise, they're not bad. They're not bad.
Yeah, but obviously,
Yeah, I saw some people had taken the jaw and slid it and closed it a bit so that it sat a little
Yeah,
better.
we shouldn't have to do that though. That's what I'm like. We shouldn't have to modify these figures. They should come
I
like
absolutely
already set like that. You know, it's like I
Yeah,
hate that looks-
why didn't they just resculpt the head to have a closed mouth?
I know. That's what drives me fucking crazy. Is like it's not that hard. There's other figures that have articulated jaws, and that head would have been a perfect one to have an articulated jaw. But fuck it. Let's just leave it like that.
You guys knocking Origins?
Not the goddamn. They're just talking about these heads in
Just-
general. It's like why the
just the head,
fuck?
that one.
An
Goddamn!
Origins?
It's like
Origin heads?
yeah, this one
No,
right here.
that snake head.
The snake head, you know, because they're using Ratlore's head, and of
Oh,
course
yeah,
it
it's
fucking
obvious.
annoys me.
Hey, Joe, would you
Yeah.
take out the head, that head, and put on Hordax?
Put Hordak's head on this?
Yeah, let's see how it looks like.
Okay, wait, where the fuck? I think I have Hordak's setting. Yeah, hold on a second. You guys can't
Yeah.
be seeing me while I'm getting up. Hold on.
Yeah, because he's not wearing pants.
Yeah, disgusting.
He's all flopping
God
around.
damn, I'm
What
dropping
the hell?
shit. I know what you're planning, douching. I know it,
What?
you sneaky son of a bitch.
What
Wait,
what
which-
was this? What was this 3-pack that has like the black armor and red armor. That's not like a
I
custom.
told you earlier the Musashi. It's based off of the Musashi line that was released in 2000.
Well, I was tuning you out. He was going on about.
Of course.
Joe's
I
like,
know.
you know where the blood on the walls here.
Yeah. Okay. Here we go. That's great. I like it. It's like, fucking ignore Joe. It's like, yeah, based on Musashi line. So where's this from? Yeah. I don't think this is gonna work, Dushin, but because I think his head's not gonna. I mean, pop him open. Pop off this. Well, just pop off the body. That's all right. It's supposed to be. All right. Drop that goddamn head. Put Hordak's head on here, and let's see if this shit even works. I don't think this is gonna work.
Try, Joe. Try.
Oh, broke it.
It can't. No, it's a.
So when you go to close it, the head pops off.
It's just, yeah, that's what I mean. It's like you'd have to do this.
The color.
That's what I mean. Yeah, so you pop that goddamn thing on, and then it can't close.
Looks
I
pretty
mean, it
cool.
could have been cool if it could have.
Yeah.
If
Yeah,
it
why
was-
why they have not put out Hordak with a Horde Trooper outfit? I'm very shocked.
Yeah.
As much as people like to dish out, oh, let's just release the same fucking character again. People will buy it. No, we'll color them blue and pink. You know.
Yeah, because that's why, if anything, if this, piece right here, like collar piece, well, just remember in the cartoon, it wasn't there. It was just his head. They could have did just this head, pop it on there. That would have worked perfect. And yeah, you could have created that one from Secret of the Sword. But what do we know?
Create a custom.
We're just grumpy old man on a podcast bitching about what Mattel doesn't do right, Mattel?
Exactly.
Yeah. Where's our Netflix show?
Yeah. Why is that? Why haven't we been given our own show? Why can't we? You guys are wanting to do multiple shows and toy lines at the same time. Why can't you give us one?
Yeah, Joe.
Yeah, we
big
were
jerk.
I was like, what I do? We
Yeah,
did
it's all
something
Joe's
fucking
fault.
great.
Yeah, Joe's in bed with them.
Joe. But well, shit. I guess if
What
you
did
wanted
you
to
do?
What? Now, didn't you
everyone-
everyone show from?
Everyone is just taking turns getting up and leaving. Should I just?
No, I'm not. I'm not gone. I'm not.
But Nathan,
I'm sorry.
did you have anything
okay.
to show from Dushin before we get to questions and stuff? Was there something that Dushin wanted?
Oh yeah. Deuce, I'll let you go ahead.
The
and set this
teaser.
up.
The teaser for the next voice session audio track that's going to be spotlighted on the Serial Geek channel. This time around, it's not Transformers, but Spider-Man and his amazing friends episode
Whip.
Spidey Meets the Girl from Tomorrow,
And
which
I-
will also include the Stan Lee narrations.
All right.
Okay.
Now, Deuce, I'm going to ask you this. Given the context of what is included in this little teaser, should I put a photo up at the same time?
No. You can play it as is, so we can
Alright.
see your reactions.
All right. Well, before I do that, what's Ren doing here?
Oh
Who
God,
is
he
that?
put That's Duplico's shitty head on the fucking Horde Trooper. Get that goddamn thing out of here.
It was
Terrible.
the only Origins head I had close to me.
Out of all
never
things,
even-
Duplico. Jesus
It
Christ.
was, it was in the drawer.
I mean, look at this. Ren's already creating this. They're human after all under there. They're not. robots.
Yeah.
Look, it fits Space Nazi.
Yeah.
And
All
Mattel
right.
be stealing Ren's idea and then calling him duplicate. Oops.
Yeah.
Oops.
All right. Well,
Wait
I'll
a
go
second,
ahead.
Tyler. I gotta get one for Tyler. Hold on a second. If I can
Oh, boy.
get this to pop in and it works. But here, Tyler. We got earthquake in the goddamn fucking earthquake. son of a
What's
bitch.
his backstory, Joe? He went.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Earthquake from wrestling, WWE Earthquake.
I know who he is. What's the joke?
Just on him, we're putting shitty heads on. I'm putting Earthquake on. Fuck it.
well,
We're
you,
just-
you talked as if like it was an inside joke from way back.
No,
when.
I'm saying
it's just
Tyler
John
at least know
Tenta
who
with the
this
Horde
is,
Trooper
because
body.
I know that Tyler. I mean, I know
Look.
that Ren would know who Earthquake is. I was like, well, at least Tyler
I
knows who
know
Earthquake is.
Earthquake. I seen the toys.
Hey, Joe,
Oh, you know the wrestler?
Joe.
You know?
Joe. Put that head on Hordak's body.
Now that actually might work. That might look kind of
That-
cool.
That guy is still in Walmart.
All right,
Ones
Joe.
are still in Walmart. Him
what's
and
the-
the other big guy.
What's the
Oh, Joe's
backstory on
customizing.
this?
Tsunami.
Who is this? This is
He's
this
a
is John-
disgruntled
John the
WWE
Horde
wrestler.
Man, huh?
God damn.
All right, go
Oh,
ahead,
shit.
Mattel. Still that.
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
want
The
to.
brand manager of Origins right now is just beating off at Joe's ideas right now.
This is great. Holy shit. Yeah.
Oh my
They're
god!
gonna.
Joe, are you ready for
Val,
the
Val,
teaser?
we got it your exclusive for 2024.
They're putting one of those out this year. Believe it.
What were you saying, Doosan?
He's
Are
asking if you're.
are you ready for the teaser?
Yeah, let's give the teaser. Go ahead.
All right, here we go. And this is just audio, so everyone.
Shut up.
Yeah. Shut what? Everyone, shut up. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and play it now.
Kenmore and Shrimps from
Elliot. E.T. E.T. Elliot. E.T. Elliot. Oh, God, Elliot. Yes. Oh, Elliot, yes.
Joe, what are you up to?
What the fuck was that?
Yeah, I was gonna actually ask Doosan because he emailed it to me. That is legit from that, right? Or did
Yeah.
you edit it?
Yes.
What?
It's
Or,
just goofing.
Nathan didn't play the right picture while we were listening to that.
That's
Oh,
why I
God,
asked
but
Doosan. I
E.T.
was like, yeah,
E.T.,
we'll
yeah.
play it again for everybody at home.
Kenmore and Shrimps from
Elliot. E.T. E.T. Elliot. E.T. Elliot. Oh, God, Elliot. Yes. Oh, Elliot, yes.
Crazy shit. That's
That's from the original movie.
No, from the recording session of that
Oh,
episode.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I thought Doosan was just messing with me, and this was something that he just edited a little bit.
But it's real. Wow.
But it's real.
It's
Yeah.
absolutely real.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That's crazy.
Oh
All right.
God, I love that James has got all these recording sessions. Like, oh, there's so many good ones. I can't wait to hear more of them.
Do we know when that's coming, Doosan?
Either next week or the week after, but likely next week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think James said he's going to try and do them like every other week. Like if there's 2 parts, like do one week, do another a completely different episode, and then do the second part like the following week, something like that. I think
He has amazing content. If you guys haven't subscribed yet, all the people that are listening right now and who catch us, on reruns, just go to Serial Geek channel and
Link is
And the
down
link's
below
below?
in the description.
Yeah.
I put it there every week. So
There you go.
get that. As well as Danielle's Dark Shadows show that she does on YouTube. As well.
wonderful.
Link is down there. Go support our friends. Like they need it.
Yeah.
They got plenty of people.
Yeah.
stepping up
If
there.
anything, people support us. Everyone else is doing fine. We're
Yeah,
pumping
give
out
us
everyone else is
money.
successful.
Give us money. Give us all your
You know.
money.
We want your
Yeah.
likes. Please like the goddamn
Yeah,
show.
yeah,
Help the
yeah. Please
algorithm.
like it.
The bell.
We're
the bell.
struggling artists. We're all
Bell.
starving here. Well, Joe is, but
Yeah, hit the
Yeah,
bell,
exactly.
baby.
Yeah,
Joe
hit the bell.
Doosan
Hit
are.
like.
yeah.
That's right.
Ren's doing well for himself because Tyler's spending his money to give it to Ren.
Yeah.
Well, hit like right now. Hit like. Ring the bell. And if any of you assholes have any questions right now for us for anything, go ahead and be sure to pop them right there in the chat, and we'll be sure to get to them.
I'm gonna.
You can tell how gracious that was.
I am. I love everybody that listens to the show and everybody that watches live.
I love.
Fuckers.
Joe will say he loves us, then he cusses all of us out or
Oh,
tells
yeah,
us he don't like
absolutely.
us. Like,
But it's in love though. It's because I love you guys.
I'm sorry,
That's
I
what
don't
say.
tell my brother that he's a son of a bitch and I hate him.
But
by
I
the way.
love.
feel
That's how I
like-
say I love you guys. That's what I mean. That's
And
that's
Joe's
when you know Joe
constantly
loves you.
always targeting Ren's dick all the time. Like,
All
I'm gonna hit you
that.
in the
Punch
dick.
him in his
I'm gonna grab you. I'm gonna
In
knock your
fairness-
dick in the dirt.
In
In
his throat.
fairness-
I want to punch him in the throat. I've said that too. I threaten
In
Ren in many
fairness-
ways.
In fairness
Hey,
to
listen.
Joe,
Hey, Joe.
in fairness to Joe, at least he didn't want to wrestle with us and expose our genitals.
that's also true, actually.
Joe, if we did, Joe would be like, I forgot which one of the Bushwhackers. You pick him up from body slam, and Joe would put his hand on your nuts and then shake him right there during the match.
Oh yeah, that was pretty good.
If that's how you show your love, Joe, hate me.
Yeah.
Please.
No, I'm not
I'm
you,
sure
Brent.
you treat me
No.
better if you hated me.
No.
Adam Gabbert was asking about Ren's shirt here, and it's essentially
Oh.
just commas are important. It says "Let's eat grandma" or "Let's eat grandma." That
Let's
English is
eat
important.
grandma or let's eat grandma.
Yeah.
And Joe doesn't get it.
Ah, God.
Mistakes were made.
So
Next question.
This isn't a question, but Gavin the Nerd, Jesus Christ, did an AI went to an AI generator and came up with a story about Tyler being angry, and I kind of skimmed through it, and it actually got a little violent. So I'll go ahead and I'll just read it real quick.
Shit!
Tyler sat in the recording studio, surrounded by his fellow co-host of the Fans of Power He-Man podcast. As they prepared to record their latest episode, Tyler couldn't help but feel a sense of anger and frustration brewing inside him. He had just found out about Mattel's new Snake Man-at-Arms toy line, and it was his most hated character. For years, Tyler had been a loyal fan of He-Man in the Master Universe. He had collected every action figure, watched every episode, and shared his love for the franchise with his fellow fans. This new toy line was like a dagger to his heart. How can Mattel betray the fans by glorifying such a hated character? As the podcast began, Tyler's anger only grew. He couldn't focus on the discussion at hand. All he could think about was the injustice of the new toy line. Finally, unable to contain his emotions any longer, Tyler slammed his fist on the table and announced he needed to leave. The other hosts looked at him in confusion and concern as he stormed out of the studio, but Tyler knew what he needed to do. He had to find someone at Mattel and give them a piece of his mind. He couldn't let them get away with this. Tyler made his way to the Mattel headquarters, fueled by his rage. This is where it gets violent. He searched the building, determined to find someone in charge. Finally, he came across a high-ranking executive. Without a second thought, he lunged at him. In a blind fury, Tyler beat the executive near to death. He didn't hold back. Every punch and kick was fueled by his hatred for this new toy line. The executive lay bruised and bloody on the ground as Tyler stood over him, panting and covered in sweat. But Tyler wasn't done. He dragged the executive out into a back alley, wanting to show him the true pain and suffering he had caused. With each blow, Tyler's anger only grew. He didn't care about the consequences. He just wanted to make sure this executive never forgot the name Tyler Baker. When he was satisfied that he had made his point, Tyler returned to the podcast studio, but this time he wasn't alone. He brought with him the beaten and scared executive, much to the shock of his fellow co-hosts. Nathan, the resident beer connoisseur, spat out his iconic drink as he saw the state of the executive. Rebecca, the voice of reason, face-palmed in disbelief. Ren, the artist, tried to capture the beaten executive's image on paper. and Deucin, the tech guru, attempted to make a gif out of the chaotic scene. Joe was hungry as a horse. Meanwhile, Tyler calmly sat down and began to eat a turkey burger when his co-host asked him.
It seems pretty on the yeah. This is
when his co-host asked him what had happened. He simply replied, "Capitalism, am I right?" His co-hosts were taken aback by his nonchalant attitude, but they knew better than to question Tyler's actions. As the recording continued, the beaten executive was left in the corner, a reminder to all the consequences of crossing a passionate fan like Tyler Baker. And while the rest of the podcast may have been in chaos, Tyler couldn't help but feel a sense of satisfaction. He may have taken his love for He-Man a little too far, but he made his point loud and clear. Never mess with the fans' beloved franchise. The end. Thank you, AI.
The end.
That seems pretty damn true.
Good job, Tyler.
What's wrong with you, Tyler?
I just want to say this again for any legal reasons. This was an AI-generated story that Gavin the Nerd did. There's no reflection of the True Fans of Power podcast.
No. Thanks for that, Gavin. Thank you.
How did they get all of our personalities so good, though? That AI is
It is kind of scary, right?
Yeah, you have to input X amount of things. X amount of things you put in and it finishes it.
Ren, now you have to draw that scene. Draw that.
And then you got to turn it into a GIF, Dushin, or a meme, or whatever the hell he said. So, yeah.
Some type of weird GIF, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
that was pretty damn accurate. I could see that pretty much going down pretty much like that.
Yeah, that's pretty funny.
I don't, I have often thought about what it'd be like to confront any of those assholes.
I've often thought outside.
Just for the record, though, I never even punched my brother growing up, so I sure as hell I'm not interested in.
Because his balls were always hanging out.
Oh God, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Here's a comment from earlier that I highlighted. This is from Sobek. Hadn't seen Sobek. Can't stay, but came to wish you all well. Very busy here. Keep up the great job.
Thank you, Sobek.
Thank you.
Philippe has a question. When you guys read comics, do you read them in character?
A lot of times, I
My
will
brain
if I
does.
read Wolverine, anything with Wolverine, I'm picturing Cal Dodd's voice coming out. Same thing with Batman, Kevin Conroy. I don't. A lot of times, sometimes I don't have a voice. You know, when I read Conan or Spider Man, a lot of times I'm just more focused on the story. Sometimes you just can't help but like put a particular voice when you're reading the character. There's been several good Spider-Man voices, like the gentleman who did the '80s, that 1981 Spider-Man. I cannot remember his name though. Jason probably remember it though. He's one of my
Der
favorites. I like
Schwartz.
him. Yes, I love his Spider-Man a lot. Like I would love for us to do a discussion on one episode of that. Let's get Ren's perspective. Deuce and Joe would probably just go eat something or something like that.
Just like
You
the
know.
AI. Yeah.
Yeah, just like the AI. And,
He's
you
hungry
know,
as a horse. So he went and
much.
ate one.
yeah, but yeah, not all the time. It's if it's a good story, I really don't stop and it's a lot of time. I don't know. I'll just say not all the time, but sometimes, yeah.
I'm kind of with Tyler in the same boat. I think it's some characters you can't help yourself but not hear that voice
Yeah.
from animation when you're reading the comic. But most of the time, it's just I don't know. It's kind of weird when you really think about it. When you're reading, or at least when I do, like, as you're reading, it's almost like you're hearing your own voice when you read, but you're not reading out loud. Does anyone else do that?
That's normal.
Oh,
It's the
yeah.
voice.
I mean, I assume that it was, but it's weird.
It's
to
Yeah.
think
what's not
I-
normal is
yeah.
for those who don't have that.
about.
That's the weird part.
What's that me? Like I'm not normal. God damn it.
Well, I mean, Joe doesn't know
Perfect
how to-
timing.
There's a lot of things Joe doesn't have, right, Jenny? So
Listen, it gets
God
Jenny.
damn it.
I always read
Elliot,
Batman
Elliot.
differently.
But I like with the Green Goblin, like hearing his voice is same thing from the 1981 cartoon. Like I love that voice for the Green Goblin. Like, that's an example I do like to use. But the Batman animated series, like they did such a great job with casting all the villains. Like it's hard not to envision anyone who voiced the villain in that animated series when you read a Batman comic. And especially the X-Men animated series, can't read any of those books and not hear the cast from the X-Men animated series in those characters, at least when they're depicted, whether it's the Jim Lee, Chris Claremont, or Dave Cockrum, and back and Lynn Wein, I think, during that time too, or anywhere in the '80s, like John Byrne, so on and so forth. It's hard not to picture their voices in those characters, for sure.
I was clicking on some other stuff. Ren, you pretty much were the same boat as the rest of us, right? Like sometimes you the character's voice in your head when you're reading the book, or no?
Yeah. Batman is always a special character to read through because you know how I feel about him. So his voice is a little weird. Whenever I read him, it's always kind of high pitched and
Yeah,
How did I know he was going to say that?
yeah.
Ren just
Hey,
looks at the
boy.
pretty pictures. He can't read. He looks at the
Come
pretty
on over
pictures.
here. Swing on the line.
Oh,
It's always like
here's the question. Anyway, here's the question for Fedmon. What do you think Hordak did to that Horde trooper that He-Man stole the armor from in Secret of the Sword?
He
the
touched
guy
him.
probably.
What?
No, you're thinking of
He
Joe.
touched him.
Jesus Christ.
I imagine the guy probably just got the fuck out of there. Just so I'm done with this shit. I'm out. Or join the rebellion, or he
Well,
Yeah,
all right.
it's
I'll
hard.
ask this then. What do you, with some of those that we were talking about, the going planet to planet, people either sign up or maybe they were join us or die. Those ones that would be constant disappointments or would let down Hordak. What do you think Hordak would do?
Oh, I'm sure he killed him.
Probably.
Oh, he destroyed them. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
I think
agree.
too is that the Horde was so damn dominant. The failures were probably minimal, but much. You just kind of feel like someone that is constantly victorious. You want to set an example that we don't accept
And
failure, much
publicly.
like and publicly. So I imagine like even if it was something Hordak wanted to handle privately, like no, he destroyed him, fed him to the beast monster in the fright zone, which I've always wanted to think about, like. that you got the formation style Fright Zone is their main base of operation on Ethereum, and that the cave with the tree and the beast monster was like a place, like a torture chamber. Like if he was gonna, like, that's kind of how I depicted that Leech mini comic. Like you take people that you want to.
That place on Eternia, that could be a front, like
Yes.
beneath there could be within the mountain there could be a complex, high tech complex, a Fright Zone Eternia.
Which would keep them on under the radar, like their expansion on Eternity would be so under the radar because that's an interesting.
Well, not
concept.
even that, but I mean, like they would already their presence would be known, but it would be fortified because it wouldn't be so easily accessible. Like you want to get in there, you have to go to that spooky house.
Yeah, like get past the beast monster. Like if you want to get down to the main, you have to find your way into that, which it's only big enough for
the mutant trees.
Yes, which I think there's so much fun to be had. Like I know some people like to piss and shit on that amongst other things in this line. I feel like going all Mattel executive on those people, but I just feel like why that place that people don't seem to think of the. Like I like to see Ren draw that Fright Zone playset like a depiction of what would be on a box, and
I mean,
beast...
you have that Earl Norm's artwork.
Oh my God, and knowing that the front that is on the side of a mountain, and he was going to take it head on with Cyclone and Mossman, like watching from below. That's epic as fuck, man. That's just, oh my God, like I just there's so much story to be had with that concept. And I hate that it has never really been fully realized. Like I love the formation of Horde Zone, Fright Zone, I really do. But that base we got with the vintage toy line, like there's so much fun to explore with that. Like the reasons behind it.
Picture like after Horde gets defeated on Etheria, that Horde gets sent out to Eternia all by himself. Like you failed all these times. Now if you don't conquer Eternia all by yourself, then you're not gonna be allowed back into the Horde ranks. And he has to use this abandoned Fright Zone on Eternia. Yeah, like that. And there's also that other. Yeah, that's the piece.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Yes. Oh, Red, what's your take on that? I'm sure you appreciate Earl's work, but I know Joe loves it, and the rest of us. What's your take on the illustration of the Fright Zone there?
I love it. I mean, I never liked the toy, the playset itself, but I always say, man, a good artist will make that one. Is that the second one doesn't seem as good to me.
So that's the box art for the toy.
Yeah, it's the box art.
Yeah, because this is much more.
That one's
epically
amazing.
sized.
Yeah. I know they were trying to make the puppet look like a puppet, which I think is a bad idea for the box art. But because your imagination for a kid is supposed to be to turn this into a creature.
Yeah.
And if you see that first image creature on the box, you're like, okay, that's what it looks like, and you're like, this is just what I got. But it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
It's something that I would just wish was explored, like or even possible to even have that exist on Etheria is almost like Horde's private interrogation area. Like he's like, no, I don't want to use Horde science. Like, no, I want to take this guy out, way back, and just go out there and just scare the shit out of this guy to get what I need, and then feed him to the monster anyway, or just some sick, twisted shit. I just feel like,
I mean, you can see that where there's a scene. Tell me what you know about. I'm not going to tell you anything. All right. Well, here's this, and then he gives them the information, and you get the hint that maybe Horde's going to let him go, and then it's like, nope.
Yeah, and then that rock trap snaps on the guy's leg, and that's always like the symbol that the beast monster has a meal.
Yeah,
and
here it comes. That's what I loved about that place at the most is It's the entire thing from the
It
tree to the
reminded
rock.
you of your home.
So the tree, the rock, there's of course the cage
The
for to be in
hookers won't
prison.
be escaping.
So
Let him
anyway,
You're the beast monster. You.
Go ahead.
so
Jim.
all right. So anyways, that is, like I said, the place where the people are imprisoned and where probably Hordak will feed them to the beast monster. Also, if anybody comes to rescue, that's when, like you said, that's when you get trapped by the rock. The beast monster will get you there. They could get trapped in the tree and they can throw them down to the beast monster. The entire thing is just a death trap. That's why I love playing with that, because everything was just
Why do you get so
interactive.
excited, man? Calm down.
Because I fucking love that place. And unlike you, you're
reminds you of
unimaginative
his
dick.
home.
Well, I mean, just think about that scene scenario that we had.
Why are you so mean?
That trap claps on his leg, and you hear him scream out in pain. Hordak says a line and then just walks away, and we don't even see what happens. We just hear the growling in the distance, and then him, the sounds. You know
that
implied.
See that, God, I wish that was utilized in a comic book or something like that, and but we did that in that Leech mini comic, a while back, getting to kind of expand upon that idea. I just wish it was used more as this, a big death trap, a torture device. It's about as dark as you would want the He-Man mythology to go. Like, we don't need, where people think you got to cut the heads off, you got to kill the sorcerers, man, because it's all cutting edge. Fuck you. It's seeing peasants, throwaway characters meet their demise to kind of show that there are stakes. There are, we don't need to see Buzz Off or, Rattler die because, oh man, they killed a character, man. It's so fucking cool, man.
We'll avenge your deaths.
Yeah, I'm sorry, as you'll see, as you people who are excited for season 2.
No, don't say it.
Next question. Next
will it
question.
into existence.
All I'm saying is you'll see a bunch of
devotional.
mindless fucking deaths, and you'll think, oh man, it's so cool.
Here's a question from JSP. Did any of you guys see
Look at Ren. I love when Ren laughs.
Did any of you guys see that Michael Jai White, his likeness anyway, is going to be used for Blade in the upcoming Marvel video game?
I wish he's been used as the current Blade of Marvel, which will never happen anyway.
Did you say who, Dusha?
Yeah, who?
He wasn't. He was even here last week. I think.
I know who Blade is, but who's the other guy?
Michael Jai White.
He played Spawn. He played in the lead character of Black Dynamite.
He was in The Dark Knight.
Black Dynamite.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh!
I love that. That's the claim to fame is Black Dynamite. But hey, why not? Why not? Because Black Dynamite's fucking good.
Absolutely.
You bet your ass
I
it
love
is.
you, Deucin. I love you.
Here's a question from Oliver Belmont. We kind of touched on this a little bit earlier. When you guys were young, did you ever army build other vintage toys, and did you put them against your Master Universe toys? I wanted to.
Who could afford to army build?
Yeah, as a kid.
I couldn't.
Yeah. Plus, also, you couldn't justify to your parents of getting
Hell
another
no.
figure of something you already had.
You have that already.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You don't have that?
Yeah.
You ain't got that shit? I know I bought that shit.
Even
That same
record.
motherfucker you got up under the bed right now. You want another one? Hell no.
Even record.
Sit down and drink your fucking beer.
Eat your sandwich. Drink your beer.
And what'd you say, Dusha?
Even the repaints would be a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
Yeah.
Now,
But
with
honestly, I hardly ever saw anything to army build as a kid outside of the Viper, like the variations of Vipers and GI Joe, like the range Viper, your
foot soldiers,
things
man,
like.
turtles.
Stormtroopers.
I got one foot soldier when I was a kid. That was it. Other than that, any of the other toy lines that came along, I never saw. Outside of GI Joe, anything. Well, see, when Star Wars came along, when the Powers of the Force line came along in like '95, I did want to get. I did get 2 Stormtroopers. But that was about as far as it got. And of course, when all these other characters are coming out, you only get an allowance. You can only get, you want to get Lando or Hammerhead or various other characters, and you're like, oh boy, I could get another Stormtrooper, and it was difficult at the time. It really was, and I never saw Horde Trooper one time when the vintage line was in stores. I had no idea it even existed in the toy until the Adam Tyner website showed it. My buddy Patrick Carrico told me Dragstore was the Horde Trooper that was released.
Oh, did he? Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, are you nuts? Really?
Oh my god.
And up until that day on the internet when I saw that, I was like, that motherfucker. I'm going to tell him right now.
Yeah, but
You know?
wasn't he also notorious for lying about other things too? When you guys
I
were
remember he
kids?
told me he had a shit ton of He-Man episodes recorded, and there was an episode of He-Man and Skeletor teaming up to fight Too Bad on an island. And I thought, oh my god, I have to see this. You got to get me the recording of it. And he never did because it didn't fucking exist.
That's cool. That's cool.
God, I'll never forget. And I remember pestering the shit out of him that day. I would call him repeatedly, did you find it? Did you find it yet? I probably sounded more obnoxious than Joe Amato. You know,
Hey,
like wanting something done. You know, like I was
That's
calling him all damn day. Did you find it? Did you
Damn.
find it?
That's
Oh my
bad.
god.
You were
I
sitting
had
there
a
waiting
lot of
for the
He-Man
next call.
letdowns growing up, man. People were just letting me down left and right. Only thing could have made it worse, I found out Joe was stealing something from me. You know?
There it is.
God.
I'll switch. There's still a few more questions, but I'm going to move over to Brad Collins over in Australia, who has a tendency
Good day, mate.
sends us trivia questions.
Okay.
There is one for Rebecca, but since she's not here, it could still go out to. We can direct it whoever will do the.
Joe
I
can
think-
pretend to be a Rebecca.
You know I'm gonna fail, so whatever. But go ahead.
Well,
Yeah.
this first question here goes to Tyler or Joe. Either one
Tyler.
of you. Either one of you buzz in if you have the answer.
I don't.
Well, because you both worked with the guy. Who did Brian have a hard on for and think deserved a figure to be made of them from the Power Tour?
Oh, Songster.
Yeah, that is correct.
But he had a, you know, I think most of the time me and Joe just fucking ignored him. Like we would deliberately like make the show without him being involved. Like fuck him, you know, this is what we're
Yeah.
talking about. And he would just show up, burned out. Oh hey man, that sounds great, man. Dun, 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 playing his fucking.
Couldn't
drums and
remember
all this other
shit. Playing his guitar, repeating everything I said and Tyler said, and yeah.
Is a record? Does the recording of that particular episode still exist?
I'm sure somewhere, maybe.
I think
Pop
if
Culture Network
you go to our
We should have
spot-
asked him at PowerCon if it existed. You know,
that was so fucking funny. I sent that picture and I'm like, is this Bozone? I'm pretty sure it's Bozone.
I seen him
Tyler's
walk
like,
right
"Holy
by.
shit."
Remember, I told you I seen him walk right by. But go ahead, Nathan.
This would have been for Rebecca, but anyone Dewson would probably know better than this. I wasn't around during this time. True or false? Tyler and Joe used to have a short-lived Hangman segment on Fans of Power.
Yeah, true.
yeah.
Well,
was always fun.
people are supposed
It wasn't
to
for
answer
you
true or
guys.
false, but you just jump in. You're like, no, it's true. We did it.
It's true.
That's true. See, yeah, he's right.
How often did you guys do that?
There was
Oh
a
God.
few times, maybe 3, 4, maybe at least.
Yeah, I think
Times
we
that-
were just trying to. God, we were
Just
so
do-
4-H Camp Wholesome and shit back then. Like you
Oh,
know, we
man.
were you know, like that one sample Nathan made us listen to a while back. I was so jolly, like, oh my God, it changed your life. I mean, like, shut the fuck up, man. Like,
Life is wonderful.
yeah, I mean,
Fake
I always want people to
origins.
be like, He-Man's badass is the most badass property of all time, and I'm like, my God, like,
Yeah.
I was so
Nerd.
pure. And
Yeah.
I was like a choir boy. Yeah.
What a wiener.
Yeah, I was just, you know, just
And Joe was like, "Shut up, nerd."
The biggest thing, I guess, that I want to ask about the early days. How did Joe manage to not say like, "Oh God damn it!" like every
Well,
few minutes?
well,
How did Joe manage to log into the internet to be?
Well, no, here. Okay, I'll tell you everything. Like I said, I've always been, high strung. Even back then I was. But when it came to the cussing, I know that Doug, when we were in Pop Culture Network, said, well, you can't cuss, try not to cuss or say any things like
Oh,
that. I was
yeah.
like, okay, so I was just like holding my tongue. And then right when it came to Nathan Host, I was like, all right, let's fucking do this.
No, I think that's me because I was like, hey, I don't care what you guys want to do. Just
Yeah.
be you.
And it's never malicious. That's the thing when we do this. It's never malicious. It's just
Yeah.
lighthearted. Just that. Who
Joe.
cares? Just him.
Joe.
Don't. Oh yeah, look
Joe.
at that right there. Did you see that? Show it again. Look at this, Brand.
lighthearted.
Jenny.
God damn E.T. Stop it!
God.
I love my
Thank
Jenny.
God,
Stop
thank
your
God we have
lying,
evolved
Joe
from those
Amato.
times, though, man.
Like,
Let's
yeah,
think
well-
back. I mean,
We
I-
we need to just do like when we have the next time we do like just the whole episodes like Q&A or whatever. I think I'll just play one of the older episodes and we can just hang out and listen
Oh.
to it live
No,
listen
no.
along. It'll be like the radio. Let's hear how.
A watch along of our shit there, or
Yeah.
listen along to the
Collection of clips.
I mean, I do remember like the conversation we would have about like the character discussion, like on like Fisto or Jits and stuff like that. When me and Joe could just keep it going and keep dipshit out of it because he's probably just off to the side beating off all puffing the cheap or whatever.
We'd flow. It was good. We'd come up with our stories on the fly because it was just the both of us, and we just would ignore whatever the hell he said and try not to let him talk.
It's like, you guys can't do the show tonight. I'm going to go see Kiss. Well, guys, I can't do the show because my dad's in the hospital. Set sail. We're doing the show tonight. That was his perception. If he can't make it, we can't do it.
It was his goddamn wrestling too. He did wrestling, and it was always about Raw. Everybody wanted to get off Raw. Got to get off Raw. Got to get off Raw. I got to watch this.
Get off Raw. Yeah, Joe.
Yeah.
It was just annoying. It was annoying. So
here's a true or false for Rin. Melindy Britt, voice of She-Ra, appeared in an episode of Fans of Power that never aired. True or false?
False.
Man, what? I thought you were a true fan. No, that is true. That is true.
It is true.
Tyler and I kept her so captivated that she stayed on a lot longer because her agent, there was only a certain amount of time. She was probably on another 15, 20 minutes, and damn it, the recording just didn't go through for some reason.
And Doug had me like alt switch over like how I chimed in, and it fucked up my audio the entire time. Oh my god, I was so fucking mad.
It was great though, and she just loved hearing us. Oh, damn!
And now we can never get her back because the show is filthy.
Yeah.
Oh god. What else you got?
This one is for Deucin. What is Fans of Mutant Power? And how many episodes did it last?
6.
No.
He's just making that shit up.
Yeah, it only lasted 1 episode.
Well, I'm curious if he knows what it is.
It was evidently a failure.
well, I can't argue that. I mean, it didn't last too long, but I remember Doug wanted to make that like our spinoff show. Like you can call it like Doug. It's called Fans of Mutant Power. Like we can't just throw that and say, "Oh, we're going to talk about G.I. Joe this week on Fans of Mutant Power." What the fuck does that mean? I mean that's what he wanted it to keep it like under that banner. Like, and it was just a one-off interview with Larry Houston about his work on X-Men and G.I. Joe the movie and some other things that he worked on, and that was it.
I wasn't on that episode, was I? I don't think I was on that.
No, I think it's back when we were like, oh, no, I don't know anything about X-Men. Back when you were... You come to think, Joe was making excuses to get out to having really good discussions way back when, too. So Joe really...
I know shit. Sometimes I just say, I was like, I don't know shit about it.
Well, you know what? It was an opportunity to talk to Larry Houston for free, and you're like, oh, no, I'm going to go beat off.
But he was on when we were talking about Master Universe. That was great. But when it came to X-Men, I was like, I didn't know all that shit. I would have been a moron. So I was like, I can't participate with that.
I'm with Joe on that. He was concerned, and he was...
But it was cool because it was just me interviewing Larry Houston. Like, Doug would chime in from time to time, but it was just pretty much just me and Larry sitting down talking. I was so brokenhearted because no one fucking watched it. Like, I was so enthusiastic about it because we went into great detail about the X-Men, the Pride of the X-Men pilot, its connection to the arcade game, which there was none. And I just thought we did a really good job with it, and no one gave a fuck. Like,
and didn't that happen when there was somebody from Filmation that you guys had on, too, where I was on that episode?
Robbie London.
Yeah, the guy who wrote your show about ugly people, and you didn't show up for it.
And you said Robbie London, who said that Diamond Ray of Disappearance is a shitty episode.
Yes.
Didn't he say that to you on that episode?
Yeah, and I argued with him about it.
In his face.
I didn't hesitate.
He said you're stupid for liking that. How dare you?
He didn't put it that way.
In a roundabout. But that was fun, and that was one I was so devastated that no one gave a fuck.
That's crazy.
That is what has kind of soured me about getting guests on this podcast anymore, because I was my own worst victim, because I used to get so excited thinking everyone would be just as excited to hear an interview with Robbie London, who wrote some of the best episodes, worked on the Bible and things like that, Anthony DeLongis, who played Blade, William Stout, and I'm like, our people out there.
That's
just don't give a
when you
fuck.
became an alcoholic.
through Nathan. Through Nathan, I became an alcoholic.
He's like, drink, damn it, do it for
Yeah.
me. I am
Drink it for
Yeah.
me.
But it was. It was so fucking disheartening. Like I
You
thought.
know how many times I've had to with Tyler and Joe like pull them off the ledge of just various things. And he's just like that. No one watch. I'm like, Tyler's gonna be fine.
There was that
Joe's
one
freaking
episode.
Out. It's gonna be fine.
There was that one episode where you guys had a fight right before it started, and you were all when it started, you were all looking like you were so pissed.
What? What was that? What?
I think I vaguely remember that.
That was around the time when Tyler was like, "Oh, this podcast is going nowhere."
Oh yeah, that.
And he quit. He quit for a little bit?
Yeah.
That it was me butting heads with Joe and pretty much, but I was also like, I was disheartened that the show wasn't getting better. Like we were not progressing. We were not getting, you felt because what was weird is when we just did the audio version with me, Joe, and Dipshit, the classics line was going.
Yeah.
And
do you
people-
realize that you just pointed at the Ren when you said dipshit?
I didn't think I was pointing at anybody. I'm pointing at Ozone's not here, so he's wherever he is in the air somewhere, high as a fucking
Ren's
kite.
like, what did I do? Ren's like, what the fuck did I do?
but at least
look at his face.
He knows I'm not talking about him.
Oh,
Joe, get your finger out of Ren's ass.
What the hell?
But
Just like
what's
E.T.
weird is that it's just like ET, and the audios. I remember me and Joe like they did really good. Like
there was a lot.
There was a lot.
It's honestly a difference between that. Plus, you also have to take into consideration years ago too. For those that don't know, when the show itself and we were doing Beyond Retro and everything, it was part of Pop Culture Network, and that in of itself was a channel that Doug and Pixel Dan and other people were a part of this whole thing, and gradually people started just going off on their own and everything. So,
and some people even enjoyed audio more. Some don't watch things; they'd rather just listen on the go on their way to work. So the audio would actually sometimes get more. And
Especially, they would get more when you guys pissed off everyone.
That's true too. But this was well before
podcast.
One more good one, Nathan. Wrap us up with a good question before we wrap up. One more good one.
Well, there's actually a couple of good ones.
We'll get two more then.
Well, Joe, you address this one really quick. Lacey Dean, is Joe wearing a wedding ring? Did he and Jenny get hitched and not tell anybody?
Well, this is from my baby, though.
She didn't tell anybody, but.
Oh no, but I got that from my baby. I love my Jenny. She got.
Why are you wearing it on your middle finger, by the way?
No, because it's not an engagement ring. So this is. Because
he's got little hands.
It's your ring.
These little hands will choke your neck, you fucker. But anyways, there's a piece of meteorite in this too.
You can't get those little palms.
You wait. I'm coming for you.
Did you say there's a piece of
there's a line for Joe right there. I'm coming for you, Ren.
No, there's a piece of meteorite in here. Yeah.
Oh, meteorite.
He always says he's coming for me, man. You better keep yourself together.
So wait, you're literally like E.T. with space material.
You're an asshole. God damn it,
Jenny. Please, Jenny, please.
Here's a question for Papa Huds. Fans Power. Favorite Filmation creature you would want as a figure?
I got a bunch of those.
What I want, they'd never make. Some of the creatures, no, they'd never make them. I'd love a Shigora. Oh my god, they made fucking Shigora. If they made Mulcrum, if they made Dragoon, oh my god, I'd lose my shit. But I know we're never gonna get those. I'd love it, but
the lava serpent.
3D version of Dragoon, you can
the
buy
lava
online.
serpent.
That is definitely one I want. I've often thought about working in to a T-shirt design for Ren too, like getting someone. Because Dragoon was supposed to be one of the evil warriors in the series. I would love to see Dragoon depicted. But I guess I think creatures. I think of like the creatures that would show up like that kind of inhabit the planet, like the ice hackers. I always thought they were very cool looking. A Colosser.
Colosser is a statue.
I know it's a statue. I just want to say him.
He loves digging, doesn't he? He's a statue.
I know he does. I know he does. But the ice hacker was definitely one of my favorites. We did get the Shadow Beast in Classics because that's a classic one too. The Swamp Bat that appears briefly in Colossal Awakes. I always thought that was a very imposing looking creature. The Creeping Horak, which is kind of like a blob-like character. That was really
Why
cool.
would you want that?
It just
It's a
looked like,
fungus. It's a fungus.
but it looks like an octopus almost. Like it comes at you with like tentacles and stuff like that. It's like a fungus / octopus is what it is, kind of essentially. A Spider-Saur, I think that'd have been kind of cool.
Okay, Tyler? I love you.
Or Bakul.
Are you just flexing your memory right now and just naming all the monsters because you know them
he's
all?
doing it because you can't, Ren. You don't know who any of those things are.
Fucking right. Fucking right.
Next question.
We'll finish it up with that. The figure I would want would be.
I'm sorry, Ren. Was I boring you?
God damn it.
This is the figure that I want.
Yeah, get that thing made.
What is he holding?
Is that the one you were talking about?
No,
it's Origins mini comic.
The
Oh my god!
Flopposaur?
Seriously? Oh.
Where you remember that time when he ripped
It's based
them
off
apart?
of one of Joe's drawings that he made in a Master Universe magazine.
when I was a kid, I was just a kid.
Deucin took it and made it like a legit thing.
Oh my god, Joe! I'm glad you're not trying to submit any more ideas to Mattel because
Leave me alone. I was goddamn as a kid. I just tried to draw a creature. They said, "What do you think you see in this cave?" And I drew that thing that you seen there.
I suppose
thing
Joe
that
isn't
he
trying to like,
named
get it over.
Suba
Oh, man.
Rex.
What
I
did
don't
you
know
say,
if I
dude?
had I thought at
The
one
original?
point I had the original drawing, but
That would be too much searching probably to find.
The original would scar people.
It
Yeah.
would. One
believe
final
it.
question. This comes from Gavin S. You're going door to door selling mustard dispensers, and one
I
person
hate
opens
mustard.
the door and wants to hear a movie pitch. What? It can be anything. What movie would you pitch? Mine would be the life story of Joe Amata.
That
Be
sounds
interesting.
like a
Short
porn
story.
setup.
I'll sell my pitch for a live action He-Man movie. Always be that. In all seriousness, for sure.
Mine would probably be like some sort of horror movie.
Yeah.
And really,
Mine would be Never Ending Story.
like a remake.
No, I would pitch that. It said which movie would you pitch?
No, you're pitching
sounded-
Pitching
you're
a
giving
new
a movie
movie, something
pitch.
new.
Something new.
It didn't say new.
God damn you, Ren.
So what? You're just gonna walk up? You're like, "Hi."
I mean, look, technically,
listen.
every reboot is
My
Here we
life-
go.
Is wrapped around selling mustard dispensers. I fucking hate mustard. I'm talking about the goddamn Never Ending Story.
So you're just gonna be like, "Hey, let me tell you
There's
about
this little
movie."
kid that wants to read this book, and the Gamork is there, and the goddamn nothing is coming to buy some mustard dispensers.
by
hope,
mustard gas.
I hope the person that's behind the door doesn't like own a gun or anything, because here you are trying to sell mustard dispensers, and you're just talking crazy. And you ever watched a Never Ending Story? Let me tell you about it.
The Gamork.
I picture like fucking, John Peters, is the one that answers the door. And how about this, Ren? How about a giant fucking spider shows up, and it's like, that's all. It says, he just all over
It
the
just
fucking
says,
place. And he takes the mustard. He's like, the spider's fighting the mustard. Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
Just as long as there's a giant fucking spider. And,
Yeah.
yes, I realize people, I'm referencing the Kevin Smith story when he is the Antichrist on this podcast. One of the Antichrist.
Who?
And if I'm not mistaken, they are
There you
making
go.
a remake of the Never Ending Story.
I'm not
Yeah.
surprised one
Other
bit.
than I ain't gonna watch it. Yeah. And if you're
Yeah.
new to the
I'm not
channel,
watching
make
it.
sure
Why
you
wouldn't
like.
you want to
Wait,
watch
Joe.
it? It'll be for the new
Joe,
audience.
Joe.
What?
Joe, I'm trying to find it. Damn it. Oh
What?
man, I should have just saved it.
What?
Fuck. It would have been. It would have been a good way to end the show, but I don't know where it's at.
What the hell are
Look
you
for it.
talking about?
I'm trying to
Find
find
it.
it.
Try it.
Yeah, I'm looking for it.
You can do it.
I'm looking for it.
I got lost there. No, I wouldn't. Ren,
You're
I don't know
always
if you-
lost.
Ren, I didn't know if you knew this, but it was maybe almost 20 years ago. I'm trying to think of when it was. I was at Kmart and I seen the Never-Ending Story on DVD. I was like, wait a second, that don't look like the Never-Ending Story I have. And it didn't say 2, it didn't say 3. It's the Never-Ending Story. I was like, fuck? All right, let me buy this. It was $5. Got home. I think I made it through 15 minutes and quit. It is fucking horrible. It was a different version of it. It is wretched. Yeah, I mean, it is fucking bad. I was so let down. I was like, hey,
What's wrong with it? What's wrong
Everything
with it?
from this, the look of it, the characters. I don't even know if I got to a part where there was Falcor because I couldn't take it. I literally just shut it off. I own it still.
Wait, so it's the same movie, but
Yeah, but just different actors, things. It looked like there's some things that were trying to be different elements, but it looked fucking horrific. Because like I can't make it.
Does our tag drown in like the quicksanders? They get shot in the head.
That's what.
Send me a picture, Joe. Send me a picture of the back of it if you find it.
Okay. Yeah, I should have it
so
downstairs.
I can see if I can. Maybe it's on Tubi or something.
Yeah, look it up. It might have been 2003 or I'm trying to think the year, but if you look
at Joe, was that the time when you weren't doing drugs?
Shut up! God damn it!
I found it. I found the last question. If you guys want me to go ahead and ask it, and then we'll wrap.
Go ahead.
Up. This comes from Philippe. I'm scared to ask anyway, but thoughts on the Revelation trailer?
Make sure you like, subscribe, share, ring that bell so you can always be notified when we go live. Until next time, have a powerful day.
Don't touch me, old man. I don't know where you've been.
What?
Yeah, that's the quote.
Do that again, Tyler.
Batman.
All right. Finish it, Ren.
Are you serious?
Yes.
I mean, there are multiple Batman movies.
Yeah. I can't just give you it like Batman because you got to get.
The kids tell Batman not to touch him.
Oh my God!
Could you do the quote again, though, Tyler?
Someone gag and bag him. Don't touch me, old man. I don't know where you've been.
The Joker.
Okay.
So it's got to be the original one.
Oh, Mask of the Phantasm.
Yes.
Oh.
Good job, Deuce.
Good job, Deuce. All right.
With an assist from Ren.
When the Joker meets
Abe Vigoda, Sal Valestra.
All right. Great job, Deucin. Love you. I love you, Jenny.
You said you loved me. You said you love me, not Jenny.
No, I love Jenny. No, you piss off there, Deucin. I love my baby Jen.
No, he loves Ren's sweet ass, Jen. You can't compete.
Joe loves me.
He's got a great ass.
Yes.